Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are talking about a story that has to deal with Cloud9's owner, Jack Etienne, and Doublelift kind of calling him out, kind of firing some shots, maybe making some commentary just about, the state of esports and contracts in general, but again, maybe taking some shots at the Cloud9 owner himself. So obviously, Mr. Jack is no stranger to controversy or criticism, and he really doesn't shy away from it. He's always tweeting and everything, but the latest tweet that kind of has some people taking some shots at him that kind of rubbed people the wrong way is this tweet where he tweeted money in the bank in regard to Sentinel's new player, Valorant superstar Tens, which he was on Cloud9. Cloud9 ends up selling him off to Sentinels for a ton of money, and again, yeah, people were really upset by this. This is Tens' girlfriend who replies to it, and yeah, people were really upset, and Doublelift had a take on this situation as well, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. It will definitely relate back to League of Legends, don't worry. Definitely drop a like on this video. I'd appreciate it a ton. Really helps me out the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Here we go. Let's see what the man himself, Doublelift, has to say. This is Doublelift on the Tens buyout situation, a Twitch clip from a stream a couple days ago.
Yeah, so like Tens is on loan to Sentinels, and the rumor is that he's contract jailed and Jack won't let him go for a ridiculous buyout. And then after they won, Jack tweets something out like this. I mean, it is in the best interest of the org to sell him for as high as possible, but it fucks over the player because they don't get to go to the org that they want to go to. And also, it puts a ton of stress on the player who signed a contract when they were like 17, 18 years old. They were just a kid trying to get into the scene. And obviously, it's just one of those very ugly parts of esports, right? Players being in contract prison, and then yeah, it really sucks when an owner tweets something out like that. It just makes as a player, it makes you feel like you're just like a cattle trying to get sold off to the highest bidder. Yeah, so like 10.
So obviously there was the big kind of quote from him there. He said it really sucks when owners do that. You feel like cattle trying to get sold off, and that's what a lot of people were reacting to. That yeah, that is nasty. And Doublelift talks about how this is kind of the nasty side of esports, or the dark side of esports. And I do agree with some things he said. Was the tweet from Jack a little bit weird? Is that maybe a little insensitive? Is that maybe kind of being a jerk when you just had somebody in contract jail? Like, yeah, sure. But also at the same time, how he's talking about it sucks because you don't get to go to the exact team you want. It sucks that you're so stressed out, blah, 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 blah. That's literally how all competitive leagues work around the world in every way, and what he's talking about, yeah, you signed a contract when you're 17, 18, and then you blow up. Well, it's like, yeah, that is what a contract is, and these contracts, we're talking 2-3 year deals. The one thing that does kind of suck is how short a lot of esports careers can be, but I promise you guys, Tens is gonna be okay, and even if that didn't work out, Tens and players just like him, when they're at the very top like that, they were going to be okay. Tens was going to be able to be a multi-millionaire streamer, even if things would have never worked out for Cloud9. And also, if he did have to play with Cloud9 to actually honor his contract for the next year or two, or say it was even a 3-year contract, I'm not sure exactly how long it was, he would have been okay. So I just think it's a little bit weird. I think Doublelift is a little bit off here. I'm sure, yeah, he wants to feel for his players, and yeah, if you are stuck on a team that you don't want to be on, yeah, that would suck. But also, a year ago, or maybe even a little bit more than a year ago at this point, maybe a year and a half ago, did anyone know who Tens was? Did he have as many fans? Was he as big of a streamer? Cloud9 was taking a big risk. Cloud9 was giving him a contract. They were going to pay him to play a game that nobody knew if it was going to do good. They didn't know if he was going to be good. Nobody had ever heard of him. And now he has all these opportunities in the world, and now he's going to go have the opportunity to do streaming and YouTube for multi-millions of dollars. But then also, Sentinels is going to pay him an insane amount of money in the future. And yes, it worked out awesome that's happening now, but also if he would have had to play out his whole contract with Cloud9 and then it would have happened for him later, that would have still been okay too. And again, this is what we see in all leagues. This is professional American sports leagues, this is soccer leagues in Europe, this is everywhere. Teams, yes, are going to try and sign favorable contracts. They're going to have to take risks on players and see what happens. And then there's also, it happens on the other side too. It's not like it's only bad for the players. A lot of players will end up signing big deals, and towards the end of it, they'll be underperforming, and the teams will still have to eat the backside of that. And nobody's like feeling terrible for the organizations afterwards. They're calling them stupid for signing the people to that big of contracts anyway. So I did think this was a little bit interesting, a little bit weird. Again, there was people mad at Jack, and there was people agreeing with Doublelift, but I think everyone's just a little bit off here. I think everyone is overreacting a little bit. Like, yes, these situations seem bad and they seem terrible, and sometimes they are. Sometimes there are like some nasty, situations that people and teams and whatever get into, but no one made these people sign these contracts. And again, at the beginning, before TenZ was anybody, before we knew how good he was going to be or whatever, Cloud9 was taking all the risk signing somebody. And yeah, it ended up that they made a very, very good investment. Yes, they get to sell it off for multiple millions of dollars because at the end of the day, this is a business. These are people, teams, everyone trying to make money. And it's not like, Cloud9 was like torturing him or anything. They were just saying, you have to play Valorant for our team and we will pay you to play Valorant for our team. It's not like he was being treated, terribly or being mistreated or anything like that. So again, I think the whole situation, I think everyone is being very, very dramatic. I think everyone is overreacting. I think these are very, very normal, just kind of like things happening in a business, in a league, in a competition. And yeah, everyone might not exactly like it. Yeah, in the NBA or the NFL, players end up on contracts that they don't like. They end up on teams that they don't like, and they have options. They can't make you play. But also, you signed a contract, and if you want to continue to play in that league or play that sport or whatever, you have to fulfill the contract that you signed, and that's just how it works. That's the agreements that are in place. Also, the esports writer Fion on Fire did kind of come in defense of everything that was going on. He said at the start of March, Cloud9 loaned TenZ out to Sentinels for $250,000 with an option to fully buy him at the end of April. This weekend, they put pen to paper acquiring TenZ for $1.25 million, which is absolutely crazy. But what I did want to talk about more here is that he was saying for people who want to run with the narrative that Jack and C9 were taking TenZ hostage, C9 and Sentinels had a very smooth relationship. Jack wanted TenZ to be happy. Sentinels never had any issues with Cloud9, and the deal was lower than their initial asking price. A big W for all. So just like I was saying, Fion is saying that in the end, people were just kind of overreacting. And then how I think this story relates back to League of Legends is the fact that Sven recently got sent down to Academy, and he could end up in a very, very similar situation where, Cloud9 is obviously, we assume, depending on how good King does in the summer, gonna be looking to sell off Sven to another team, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of offers they get. It'll be interesting to see where Sven is willing to go, where he wants to go, what team he wants to end up with, and how much money Cloud9 is going to ask for, because Sven was one of the best AD carries in the LCS in the spring split. He projects to be one of the best AD carries for the next few years to come, so it'll be interesting to see what that bidding war turns into, how ugly things get, but either way, it's going to be another situation of Jack probably making a lot more money. And again, he is a business owner. He has shareholders. He has investors. He needs to make money at the end of the day. He needs to make smart business decisions. Now, is going on Twitter and kind of bragging about it maybe the best way to go about things? No, I don't think that's how most owners in professional sports leagues or anything would handle it. Maybe it's a little childish, immature. Maybe that's a little bad. But again, that doesn't mean the situation as a whole is anything like disgusting or the dark side of esports or anything like that. I think that is clickbait, over dramatic, a little bit weird, and I don't entirely understand where Doublelift is coming from, especially a guy with as much inside information and experience as he has. But yeah, Doublelift calling out Jack, saying that he's, is like essentially LCS owners treat players like cattle. Pretty crazy stuff, pretty interesting. I thought it was funny, but that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I'd appreciate it so much. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this situation? Do you think it's disgusting when players get stuck in contract prison or whatever, whatever terminology or whatever you want to use, or do you think it's not that big of a deal? I don't know. I would really love to hear what you guys think. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!